Now, in your unit, usually there's a 12-gauge shotgun. Somebody's carrying a 12-gauge for close fire. And I'm standing there, the guys are talking, and I'm going, because I'm up under the table. And those of you know, when you have uncontrollable bowel movement, well, you know what I'm talking about. And the snake comes up this way, and it's looking, it comes across this way, then goes back, then it goes, and then someone says, snake! And I'm standing there in number 1 and number 2, and I'm hoping that these guys can hurry up. So they blew its head off, and someone says, Kendall, was it poisonous? And I'm looking, I'm saying, do I look like a damn herpetologist to you? What in the hell am I supposed to do? But I think that was very difficult. I lost a teammate of mine who was killed when I found out about that. It was the first time that I carried a KIA and, of course, the snake. But the difficult thing for me was all the protests going across the country. And I remember what my father said. When you make a decision, you live by your decision. You can't make people like you. Don't try. It's a waste of time. And I was asked, would you do it again? I said, yes. I would do it again. And I just want to say that we all have a story. And it's very difficult when you see the things that you see in newspapers, when the rioting and the stuff and things that when the VC put the leaflet out, they knew what they were doing. And but I always remember, you can't make people like you. The only thing they owe you is respect. And I just want to say, I appreciate what the Stark County Veterans Commission has done. I really appreciate it. In fact, when I called them and I received that blanket that someone made for me, I was very, very happy. And I called them and I said, thank you, whoever made that. Because nobody in my family is allowed to touch the blanket. So, you know, when you have people saying things like, hell no, we won't go. But I leave you with this. I didn't burn my draft card. I didn't burn the American flag. And I most certainly did not run to Canada. Thank you.
Speech. Thank you very much, Mr. Kendall, and welcome home, sir.
There's Jeremiah there.
It is with distinct privilege and honor that I introduce Brigadier General Tom Lubzinski.
Not Jeremiah himself, or not Joe himself.
Brigadier General retired from the Ohio Army National Guard with over 35 years of service. He entered active duty in 1968 at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, assigned to the 82nd Airborne Division.
Or running
All
for
right. He completed Airborne and Ranger Training School from May 19 33rd Ranger Battalion, Vietnamese. In 1972, he completed the Rotary Wing Aviators course, then returned to the 82nd Airborne Division. In 1974, he was released from active duty and joined the Ohio Army National Guard. He served in numerous leadership and staff positions as an aviator. He was a flight instructor and an instrument examiner and flew over 5,000 hours in 4 different aircraft.
Just invited me yesterday.
He later commanded the 37th Armored Brigade and completed the Army War College.
Team.
He was promoted to Brigadier General and became the Assistant Division Commander for the 38th Infantry Division. After retiring from the military, he worked at a numerous amount of civilian companies. Then from June 2007 until August 2019, he was a medevac pilot for University Hospitals in Cleveland. He retired in August of 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Brigadier General Lee Gates.
I have to take the easy way. Some of these steps are pretty crazy. Well, I don't want to sound redundant, but welcome home. And it's really amazing to see this many people. I never knew there were that many Stark Countyans that had been in Vietnam, so I'm extremely impressed. And thank you for your service. And even though I'm dressed, I want this to be kind of informal. So sit back, relax, and kind of try to reflect on some of the things that we talked about here today. And it's not about me, it's just about what we all did, sharing our experiences. So at the end of the day, what I'm hoping is that you won't be embarrassed about the time that you served in Vietnam, but you'll be proud that you served your country. We're going to discuss in small detail Agent Orange and some of the other things that happened to some of our compatriots, and probably a lot of you guys in here. So I want you to think back, and I'm guessing 50 to 55 years ago. If you were getting ready to go, you left. One day you're in high school or college or at a job, and then a week later you're in basic training. You spend your time there in probably less than 6 months, and then you're in Vietnam. So talk about culture shock going over. And then when you get done with all that stuff, no matter what you did or how long you served, now you got to come back to a separate culture shock. So it was kind of a double whammy for a lot of people. So now you're back in the land of the big PX, right? So with any luck, if you remember when you went over, you were listening to some kind of music. When you came back, the music was different, the cars were different, the people were different, and you were different. No question about it. It's just the way it was. And you can see the results of the war with the impact of the shrines that are in D.C. or the Vietnam Wall or even up in Clinton.
We're going to go upstairs here, guys, see if we can sit with Jeremiah and Angela.
So if you look at the timeline, depending on where you fit into that program, back when Kennedy, Frederick Kennedy...
Trying to get to the second floor. No, I was trying to get to the top. My group is up on the top there. I don't know if there's a separate way without having to go through the main part. Huh?
It's right down this way.
Okay. I was in the main part, and then I found my team, and they're sitting up top. So I was like, well, see if we can get up there. Oh, that way. I came in, didn't notice that. Thank you. Tom, there he is. What's going on? Well, one of the guys I've been looking for. What's happening, man? Thank you. Thank you, Jesus, man. Man, thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Whew. How you doing?
I was ready to kill her. I was ready to... I kid you not. I called Wes up and I just absolutely... Because these things are all mixed up.
You just threw them in there.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
Because they're good.
Oh, you got it. You organized them.
But it's like, you idiots. Are you kidding me? I don't know what the heck. Too many handlers, too many people doing stuff.
Right. Trying to get the message properly and probably Gibbons would never had a clear vision of what was supposed to happen. So
no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He had no idea. I don't think he knew about it until the other day.
When you finally got on him, they finally called him.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, we got it. We'll leave in the past. It's good. We're there. Yeah. Awesome, man. Glad you came. You leaving?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, except for you.
Were you up there with Jeremiah?
I didn't see him.
Oh, you didn't see there. I was sitting in down here, and then I saw him sitting up here, so I'm gonna go up and sit with him. The lady making the announcement is the one that invited me here, and that we're gonna try to connect with. So, all right, Tom. Appreciate you, man. Have a great day, man. We'll talk to you soon. All right, got my documents, guys. Got the documents for the precinct strategy. Praise the Lord. Bob Gibbons finally signed them. 225 signatures from the senator.
Now, when I got there, I didn't know anybody on the plane. I didn't know anybody when I got there. And shortly after, a week or two, when I was out in the field with the Vietnamese, I didn't know any of them either. So it got to be, it was an eye-opener for sure. And oh, by the way, when I left, I knew I was going to be gone for a year. And I knew they would give me equipment. But I had a bag, 26 pounds, that's all I carried with me. And I made it all, and I knew it was going to be there for a year. So that's pretty light travel. So then when I got there, as I stepped off the plane, I remember that it was very hot, very humid, very smelly, and I asked myself, what am I doing here? Like a lot of you have done as well. So as I mentioned, I was assigned to the 33rd Ranger Battalion. There were 4 of us on a team. I was the lead, or the head guy in that group, as a first lieutenant and then later as a captain. And the rest of it, I had 2 NCOs and 1 lieutenant. Our primary area of operation was northwest Saigon, northwest Vietnam, west of Saigon. Now, language and culture, most of you went over, you probably didn't know too much about the language at all, because they didn't give you a course. They gave me a 7 or 8 week course at Fort Bragg rather, and taught me how to speak a little bit. But you had to be real careful. It was reasonably easy to learn, but you had to be careful what you said. And if you see the eyes go up, you knew you might have said something wrong. Now, how many in here had 33 beer when they were over there? I know there had to be more than that. And that was called Bam Wee Ba. That was the Vietnamese term for it. Now, the numbers, when you learn Vietnamese, the numbers are very simple. There's only 10 numbers to worry about, 1 through 10. Một, hai, ba, bốn, năm, sáu, bảy, tám, chín, 10. That's it. Then when you hit 10 or 20, you just add the number ahead of it, and then a 10, and then whatever. So 33 beer is Bam Wee Ba, which is 3, 10, 3. Thus the 33. So that was easy. The rest of it was a little bit more complicated. If you went into a restaurant and ordered, what the heck was it? It was Nước Trà. That was iced tea. And if you asked it the wrong way, you'd get a real strange look. Because if you said Nước Trà with just a little inflection, the words looked the same, but there's an inflection on it. And that meant you had to go to the bathroom. And I see a lot of reflections in here. So, I guess he's already started on my slides. Okay. This is the first slide. This is the headquarters that I went to. This is, you see it's all air conditioned, real plush. There was probably 4 or 5, it was like their headquarters. They had a radio on one side, and I went in there. I remember the first night, I'm sleeping on the floor. It's a concrete floor. Nothing, no fan, no air conditioning, nothing else, no electricity for our room. And in the middle of the night, I had a rat run right over the top of my head. And I go, man, I definitely made a mistake here. But anyway, have the next slide, please? This is what it looked like from the back of that same building. And off to the left side, you can't see it very well, that was their outhouse. Because in 3 Corps, the water table was so high, you couldn't dig a hole. Because the water sometimes would be above, sometimes it would be below. But you'd have to walk out there. And the hardest thing I ever had to do that first week was to walk out there in the middle of the day, out on some planks until I got there, and then squat down and look around, and I knew that everybody in the world was watching me. Talk about culture shock. So, anyway, next slide. This is pretty much the area south of Saigon, probably 15, 20 miles. It is the Saigon River, and it's just like any other tidal basin. You know, like you go down in North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. You know, when the tide comes in, the water is up. When the tide goes out, it's the other way around. Next slide. That was me when I was a little bit leaner than I am today. Next slide. This was built when I was there, and it was a pagoda building that was made just for decorations, really, because you never saw anybody in it. I don't know what else they did, but it was a nice building, and it was right downtown Saigon. You just went by it, you don't see anybody. Next slide. This is interesting. In some of the areas where they're camping out for a day or two or whatever, they set their trucks up, and unlike most Americans who are kind of aware of health issues, these guys, they're eating. One's eating, one's washing. Sometimes they're washing their hands, and sometimes they're scooping up stuff and splashing water in their face, and then 10 feet away you'll see somebody urinating in the water. So there absolutely was no concept of hygiene per se. It's amazing any of them live past about 40 years old. Next slide. A typical village along the Saigon River. It's all dirt floors, mud huts, thatched roofs. Next slide. If you got into Saigon at the wrong time, it's kind of like Cleveland sometimes, or Akron. But it was a lot. They didn't know how to drive. And they were all over the place. So you took your life in your hands and you went in there. Next slide. This is just before a big storm. Next slide. And that's during the big storm. It's very much like if you've been in Florida before. The only difference is very rarely did we ever use a raincoat or poncho even. It was raining so hard, there was no point in doing that. You were going to get wet. Next slide. That was me after about 17 days without a shower. And so one of the things I did when I came back from Vietnam was whenever I went in the shower, I took a shower like half an hour, and I took 2 or 3 a day. I never could get enough showers. Next slide. This was really a good place to stay. I mean, it was underneath a tower, and we had some protection, and we had to set up a mosquito net, otherwise you would donate a pint of blood at night. It was just pretty ugly. Next slide. This is in the drier season, just seeing a bunch of on the countryside. Next slide. And that's it for the slides. Now, I just want to have one more on the stats. Okay. If not, there was Vietnam veterans, just to put it in perspective, they represented 9.7% of their generation. So all of us out there, we were that 9.7%. 58,000 were killed in Vietnam, 75,000 were severely disabled, and of those killed, 61, this is an amazing one, 61% were 21 years or younger. 21 years old or younger. And there was 11,465 of those that were killed were younger than 20 years old. So it's pretty amazing stuff going on there. So, like you heard before, you wonder about what you did. Would you do it again? Yeah, I would. And I learned a lot of things while I was over there. And what am I thankful for? For me, it's always the small things. I'm thankful that I wake up, I'm thankful that I'm waking up every day in this country and appreciating everything that we have here. Thanks for everything in my life, my family, friends, And then I also appreciate getting the water out of the faucet and not having to use a filter or anything like that. I mean, even though we do most of the time. Being able to sit down at a table with dishes and glasses and all that stuff, it's really exciting. Small stuff, but it's very good. Being able to sleep in a bed, I really like that one. Then being able to go to the bathroom on a commode. It's all the small things that make life so much better. And being able to get on the phone, because we didn't have any phones, we didn't have GPS, we had maps, compass, and radios, and that was pretty much it. But I thank you all for coming in today and sharing this time that we have together, and I'll be around to talk some more later on. I don't want to put anybody to sleep. I think I hear some disease over there.
This is Leanne, the lady that invited us here. Wow.
Thank you so much, General, and welcome home. Although our special performer is not here in Ohio, he is very well known in Stark County. He is an American patriot. He is dedicated to serving the men and women who serve to protect the freedoms of America. He's eternally grateful to live the American dream that was made possible through the sacrifices of America's sons and daughters. His passion to give back is noted with Ricky Lee Music for Our Vets, which is a program he started 9 years ago to inspire veterans through music. Between traveling all over the United States to perform for veterans and the countless concerts that he has performed, to include here in Ohio, somehow he still found the time to create his own line of chili, Ricky Lee's America's Best Chili, and just released his own cologne line, named nonetheless Freedom Cologne. Ladies and gentlemen, your friend and mine, Mr. Ricky Lee.
Woo! Yeah, it's a little bit. Somebody's, I think it's a girl. I was like, no.
This land is my home. This flag stands tall. The eagle soars high, watching over us all. From the farmer's work to the steel mills of Pittsburgh, to the tracks that were laid on the coal mine streets all night through the day. Good morning, America. How your light shines on all the greatness and this land that we love. From the snow-covered mountains to the rivers and plains, from the front yard to Arlington, where the black proudly waves. Good morning, America. Let your light shine on. To the soldiers we pray, all the freedom you gave. Thank God we still trust when the going gets rough in the land of the brave. Good morning, America. Let your light shine on all the greatness
We got a very special song that I actually wrote for my road manager, who's a Vietnam veteran, Desert Storm and Operation Iraq Freedom, so he served in 3 wars, but I wrote this song in honor of all of our Vietnam veterans here, and it's dedicated to each one of you for your service. It's called Welcome Home.
Oh.
Fought in Vietnam, just a kid out of high school with big dreams. He saved many lives with his sacrifice, and never talks much about it. He's proud to have served, said he'd do it again for liberty. He'd fight to the end, be the last one to stand for your freedom. He believes in America, red, white, and blue, protecting freedom, stood proud and true. Just a simple man loves his land, all the home of the brave, America. He marched past Saigon to the jungles of hell, all the red, white, blue. He carried out the missions through the smoke and the flames for a nation under God. He said, "Oh, raise that flag on every sunrise till the day that he died." As he believes in America, red, white, and blue, protecting freedom, stood proud and true. Just a simple man loves this land, all the home of the brave, America. There's a wall built in honor, names etched in stone, the unsung heroes that never came home. 'Cause they believed in America, the red, white, and blue, died for our freedom, on me and for you. Heroes they are, forever in our heart, all the home of the brave, America. It's the home of the brave, America. Oh, welcome home, my friends, from Vietnam. There's a song I wrote where the American flag is sending out a message to the world. It's called Standing Tall. I was made for peace and honor, for grace and liberty. I'm strong, proud, and free. I fought in every battle
been burnt and I've been torn. Good times and bad, I believe. In America, my truth is spoken. I send out a message of freedom to men. Standing tall for all to see. Here in America, they honor me. I've marched among brave soldiers through blood, sweat, and tears. Been draped over heroes, rained upon by tears. They pledge allegiance to me, one nation under God. I've been blessed by angels with prayer. And America, my truth is spoken. I send out a message of freedom to men. Standing tall for all to see. Here in America, they honor me. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the flag of the United States of America. Here in America, my truth is spoken. Send out a message of freedom to men. Standing tall for all to see. Here in America, here in America, they honor me. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been my distinct pleasure to be here and share this great evening with y'all. It's an honor always to perform and honor our veterans. And once again, welcome home. A song off my new CD. It's called God We Still Trust.
Jeremiah, had you heard of Ricky Lee? And you talked to a few people that have heard of him, but I didn't either. He's got a big base here in Ohio, I guess. Yeah, he does.
Place your hand on his Bible when you swear to tell the truth. His name is on our greatest monuments and all our money too. When we pledge allegiance, there's no doubt where we stand. There's no separation. We're one nation under him.
Right.
In God we still trust. Here in America, He's the one we turn to. Every time the going gets rough, He is the source of all our strength, the one who watches over us. Here in America, in God we still trust. the